All right, so this video is about arithmetic sequences, and what makes something an arithmetic sequence is a common difference. So you can see here from 10 to 14, and 14 to 18, and 18 to 22, and 20, they all have a common difference of 4. So if you see that common difference, all you have to do is take two terms in sequence and subtract them, and it tells you what the difference is. And that's what makes it arithmetic. Common difference. They all have a difference of 4. So to create an arithmetic sequence, all you would have to do is take that difference and continue it through the whole problem. So in this case, we're adding 4 to each one. So we could also add 3. So our a sub 1 is 10. So if we add 3, we get 13. And then we take 13 and add 3, and you get 16. And so you're just adding 3 all the way through the whole thing. So 16 plus 3 is 19. So then 19 plus 3 is 22, and then 25, and you create your arithmetic sequences. So if you want to find that difference, you would just take any two terms and subtract them, and it has to be 6 take away 5, or 5 take away 4, or 4 take away 3, any two. We already know it's arithmetic, so it has a common difference. So if we did 25 take away 22, our difference would equal 3. And if you did 22 take away 19, your common difference would be 3. But you can also subtract a number. So 10 take away 4 is 6. 6 take away 4 is 2. 2 take away 4 is negative 2. And so on. And you get a new arithmetic sequence with subtracting. So if you take any of these two and subtract them, in order, of course, that would be negative 10 plus 6, which is negative 4. And then negative 6 minus negative 2, that would be negative 6 plus 2, which is negative 4, which makes sense because we subtracted 4 all the way down. So working in reverse, the difference of these two would be negative 4, and the difference of these two is negative 4. Difference of these two is negative 4. So these are arithmetic sequences. And what we want is to have a formula. We don't want to have one that we need to find the previous. So like if you have to find a sub 15, you don't want to have to know a sub 14 because that's a lot of work. What we want to do is be able to have a formula that just says it's 20 by plugging numbers in. Okay, so let's look and see our pattern here. So if you look at it, to find a sub 1, we didn't have to add anything. It was given to us. To find a sub 2, we add 1, 3. All right? To find a sub 3, that means we would take a sub 1 and add 2 3s. To find a sub 4, you would take a sub 1 and add 3 3s. So if you notice, we're adding 1 less than the term itself, that number of 3s. So a sub 5 would need 4 3s. A sub 6, you'd have to add 5 3s. So we end up with this formula, which is saying if you wanted a sub 20, you would take your first term and then add to it 20 minus 1 differences. You would add 19 differences. So it's always 1 less. You see, to find a sub 2, we had to use 1 take away 4. To find a sub 3, we would take a sub 1 and subtract 4 twice, and so on. See, we're taking 10, subtracting 4, you get this one. To find a sub 4, you take 10, subtract 4, subtract 4, subtract 4, 3 of them. Okay, so that's the whole idea. So to find the 20th term, you can just plug it in the formula. That would be a sub 1 plus 20 minus 1 differences. But you could also just say, look, I know I'm starting with the first term, and then I'm going to have to add that difference 19 times because I'm at the 20th term. So what you need to first find is a sub 1, that's what we're missing, and your difference. And so a sub 1 is always your first term, so 1. And the difference, you just take any two terms in sequence. So we can do 13 take away 10, or 16 take away 13, or 7 take away 4. It's your choice. We already know it's arithmetic, so they have a common difference. And then we plug them in. So a sub 20 would be our first term of 1, and then we're going to add to it 19 times. So we plug that in our calculator. 1 plus 19 times 3, and it says 194. So our 20th term would be 194. And so just so we can kind of see what we're getting at, a sub 1 is 1, and so a sub 2 would be that 1 plus 7. A sub 3 would be that 1 plus 2 7s. a sub 4 would be that 1 plus 3 sevens. See, that's how our sequence is created. All right, so let's try another one. So we're going to find the 25th term. So a sub 25 would be our first term plus 24 differences. All right, that would be 25 take away 1. You can use the formula if you want. So again, the formula is a sub n equals a sub 1 plus n minus 1 d. But I really recommend just plugging that number in. All right, so a sub 1 is 9, and the difference is any two numbers subtracted. So I'm going to do 5 and 9. So it has to be 5 take away 9, negative 4. And so you have to remember that if it is decreasing, you should make sure that it has a negative number for your difference. So our a sub 1 is 9 plus 24 times negative 4. And we plug it in our calculator. And we get negative 87. And that's it. So this is what you're going to be doing on each one, finding a difference, finding a first term. And then if you look for 26, you need 25 differences. But what we're going to do now is look at this graphically. So what I want to do is keep this general term the way it is, plug our a sub 1 and d in, and see if it looks familiar to you. So a sub n equals 9 plus n minus 1 times negative 4. And I'm going to rewrite this as a sub n equals negative 4 n minus 1 plus 9. And then I'm going to say y equals mx plus b. That's right, it's linear. It's just the only difference here is our n is 1 less. So it's this b here is not actually your y-intercept. It's the value that we are starting with. So this is our 1 value. This is like 1 comma 9 because a sub 1 equals 9. So when you look at this general term and these terms that you have, it's really an x and y coordinate, right? We get our x and we get our y. I don't know what's going on there. That's the x and that's the y. So let's look at Desmos. So if you look at it, you can see that it is linear. These are all the general terms. A sub 1 is 9, a sub 2 is 5, a sub 3 is 1. This is how we follow it. And you can see that 25 is negative 87. What that difference is our slope. We have a change of 1 for each x. And so on each one, so you can see it's down 4 over 1. It's a slope. So that difference that you're given is a slope. And that a sub 1 is your first term. So from our 9, we are going down 1 over 4, down 1 over 4, down 1 over 4, down 1 over 4. And so to get from 1 to 25, you would have to do this 24 times. So that's where our formula is coming from. So you can see we went from 9 to 5 to 3. It's down 4 over 1, down 4 over 1. You get 24 of them. So when you look at this formula, that's what you have to think about. My slope is negative 4. My first point is 1 comma 9. And I'm going down 24. So each of these are coordinates. So this would literally be 25 comma negative 87. And my a sub 1 would be 1 comma 9. And so going from point to point, it's just decreasing by 4. But plugging in the formula is all you have to do. Just noticing that they are linear is a good thing to have. All right, thank you.